like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it alive. You know we keep it alive.
Glad you chose to stop by the channel today. Just wanted to give you an opportunity to really become a part of this community here at the Coach Smook Network. We like to call ourselves the AAA family. The AAA stands for authenticity above all. We just want to give you an opportunity to become a part of this community because we're growing and we're doing something special here as a fan base, not just for Alabama, but the fan community as a whole. We're creating an environment where it's safe to be yourself, be authentic, and meet people who share the same passion you share, whether it's for the same team or not. You can do this by becoming a member of the AAA family. You simply start by just clicking the link provided to you by one of the moderators in the chat, or it'll be pinned to the top of the chat. Click that link, it'll bring you to my homepage. When you get to my homepage, make sure you hit the notification button and turn on all notifications. Understand that there are multiple ways to support the channel, and each level has its perks. You can go through and read each perk. As we continue to grow, new perks will be added to each level. One thing we would like to highlight that all AAA members are greatly appreciated. It does not go unnoticed that you have taken time and hard-earned money to support this channel. Once you join, YouTube is going to ask for some payment information, and make sure you monitor your subscription dates. Also, if you really want to get interactive with the community and find out what's going on, think about joining our Discord family. This is where you can get into all the fan talk of the community, and also there are networking opportunities. Please be mindful that there are rules and that we expect everyone to treat everyone with respect. Also, if you're looking to partner with Coach Smook Network or sponsor, please hit us up at coachsmooknetwork@gmail.com, and our staff will get back to you in a timely manner. I'm your boy, Coach Smook of the Coach Smook Network, and I thank you for supporting this channel.
Remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Somebody say, put me in the game, Coach Smook. Let's go, chat. Come on, we back for round 2 today. Round two. I always do this with my hair, y'all. I think I be fixing it, and it's never fixed. So let's fix it. All right, boom. What's up, everybody? Good to see y'all in the chat again, man. Everybody, I see you. I see you. What y'all got going on, man, this afternoon? Listen, we had to come back with some different, not some different, but some more knowledge going into practice today. I had to have an extensive conversation with multiple people at the university. But we were still operating, still moving, doing our thing. But some interesting things happened at practice today. As you all probably have seen, other outlets probably have already posted their interviews and their footage from the player availability and Coach Grubb availability. I wasn't able to get, or I haven't checked my email yet to see had they dropped the official Coach Grubb interview, but I did get some notes from all my sources, man, and 2 questions was asked that I wanted to know about. Caden Proctor stepped up, and he basically answered a question about how the offensive line rotation is looking with personnel grouping and who's stepping up. Y'all remember I spoke on Michael Carroll and Olis Alanin, even speaking with some players on roster. Those 2 names are ones that keep coming up as far as guys that are ready. And Jackson Lloyd. So we're going to dive into that conversation. I'm going to give my thoughts on those guys' names being mentioned. And they apparently Coach Grubb mentioned Michael Carroll also, and Olis Alanin being 2 of the guys that's really been stepping up with opportunities that they presented. With Jaden Roberts being out, guys having to shuffle a little bit. One of the things that also I wanted to have answered was how did Coach Grubb, what was his level of confidence going into this season, going into week 1 against Florida State, with throwing out the current starting 5 of offensive linemen, and that's left tackle Caden Proctor, left guard Cam Dewberry, center Parker Brailsford, right guard Gino Vandermark, and right tackle Wilkin Formby. And his response was very confident, quoted, so I haven't, like I said, I hope we get the interviews before we end our post-practice report. It's only going to be a 25-30 minute post-practice report here live, but hopefully we get the official interviews up. If we get those up, we'll end the show with Coach Ryan Grubb's official interview. And shout out to everybody pulling up in the chat, man. Kyle Weber told you to count me in. All right, Kyle, what's up, man? Let me go to Twitter and get that question you have for us. What's up, Dylan? Good to see you. It's already posted, the official one. I'm not talking about somebody else's website. I'm talking about an official one, the official UA one. I don't care to use anybody else's stuff with their horrible audio. We don't too much care to resource that. We'll wait until we get ours official from the university and post that on our channel. And we'll react to. Was it the official one, Jason? Is what I'm asking you. Did UA post it? Who posted it? If it's not posted by University of Alabama, then I don't care to listen to it. So, but I'll go off of what my notes were saying. I feel like my sources are pretty solid. They what's kept us in the loop when we're not on campus. But just being connected the way we are, I think we can formulate. I have already formulated a good thought process on what this offense is looking like going into Florida State, going against Florida State. What's up, James? Nah, it's good to see you, man. Roll Tide, my guys, checking in on Facebook. Drop that like over there on Facebook. Hit that reaction button, and continue to share, like and share, man. Make sure everybody's tapping in on YouTube, man. Make sure we getting all the likes on YouTube. Our lives have been doing great, statistic-wise, analytic-wise. We've been pushing out some numbers. I'm excited to see what happens. But before we get into post-practice report, let's look at some things, man. Some fun stuff happening with the University of Alabama. Let's get this on the screen real quick. I'm gonna open this like this and then do it like that. So, preseason All-American list. I did a reaction to the freshman All-American team. This is the All-SEC selection. Preseason coaches All-SEC team. The league announced it today. Alabama claimed 2 first-team honorees, both on offense. The Tide also earned an impressive 7 second-team selections, made up of 5 players on defense and 2 on offense. And UA's pair of third-team recipients included 1 player on either side of the ball. So first team got Caden Proctor, Ryan Williams, of course. Second team, Jaden Roberts, Parker Brailsford. On the offensive side, defensively, got Damani Jackson, Tim Keenan, Deontay Lewis, LT Overton, Keon Sapp, all veteran guys returning. Yeah, Bama line is not official. They have their little view. If it's up close, it might have some good audio, but if not, the audio is not going to be good on it. We're good on that. Know where you've been getting your information from, Jason. Damani Jackson, Tim Keenan, Deontay Lawson, and LT Overton. Then on third team, you had Jam Miller on offense and Bray Hubbard on defense. So some quality names showing up on these preseason lists now. And then another one came through. Let's go and see what that one was about. I forget what it was. Oh yeah, the Golden Arm Award. The Golden Arm Award. Ty Simpson joining the list of former Alabama quarterbacks that won it. Jay Barker, AJ McCarron, Mac Jones. Ty Simpson joining that list. Possibly could win this award if he shows up and shows out. I think it's his time, like I said. And then the reports from today's practice, man, and the official numbers from the scrimmage for all three quarterbacks. I was able to get our stat sheet together. And all the quarterbacks had no interceptions thrown this past scrimmage. That was a good thing, right? But the completion percentage, everybody was 71% or better, which is why I think this staff is that confident. You know, even though there were not a lot of explosive plays, you had a total of 5 drops in the scrimmage. And that's kind of what we reported. So we'll dive into that conversation here for the post-practice report. But Ty Simpson getting on that list for the Golden Arm Award, set up a good chance, has a good chance to win this thing and add some more accolades under his belt, man, as he continues to set up for his first season as the full-time starter at the University of Alabama. So some interesting news and things coming out before we jump into the practice talk. Now, as we transition into this, I want everybody to understand this. We are now officially into game prep mode. So a lot of these reports and things of that nature, I wish that we had footage and figured out what questions were asked, because hopefully none of the cheesy stuff is being asked, and we're getting into like questions about personnel and where they fit going into Florida State game. And you're only going to get so much from the staff. We know that. You're only going to get so much. You can't get the game plan in interviews. But if you ask the right questions, you can find out who you can kind of expect to step up. And based off of the conversation I had before coming live, a lot of the names that are being thrown around, and mind you, offensive availability today, Coach Grubb was set up for the interview. You had what the email said, Caden Proctor, Jeremy Bernard. Who else was available? Offensive players. I don't think they had a quarterback available today. No, Jeremy Bernard, Caden Proctor, and I want to say Rich. Or did he just say? Well, Rich went with first team today, so that was promising to hear. And then even in the interview, some was said alluding to the fact that Richard Young has, he's been kind of like the spark in the room, in the running back room. I told you all he had some big gainers in the first and the second scrimmage, plays where he just kind of can rip them off and take off for 25, 30 yards. And the defense, he's hard to tackle. So you expect him to kind of step up. And then Dre Washington continued to make strides. He's not as strong in the pass pro based off of some of the evaluations that we've had over here, but starting to get better day by day with more opportunities, especially going up against second team and first team personnel on defense, having to step up, getting those eyes in the right spot and learning how to use your leverage. Hey man, you talked bad about my dogs yesterday. Oh yeah, Darius. Hey, I'm gonna always talk bad about them dogs. They whimpering this season. It's crazy. I would love for all of you Georgia fans that keep showing up in the middle of Alabama talk to talk about Georgia. Show up on call-in night. Show up on Friday nights. I know high school football is back, but call-in show is pretty lit. And we thinking about pushing it later so we can really get into the college football talk. But because I'm not going to be missing too many more Friday Night Lights. We got the first weekend in September is when we kick off our Friday Night Light series. So I'm ready. I'm ready for high school football, but I love the call-in show. So y'all Georgia fans, call in when it's time to talk some Georgia football, because y'all cooked. Roll Tide till I die, Coach Smook. What's up, Juvie? How you doing, man? Good to see you, Troll. Hey, Troll Tide. That's all they do. What's up, Kareem? How you feeling this morning? Roll Tide. I mean, this afternoon. Roll Tide. Chad, what's good, my brother? Roll Tide. Greg, good to see you, man. Roll Tide. Golden Armor War. He got the best wide receiver group in college football. If AMAC or K-Russ had been the starter, they'd be on the list. Facts. I truly would agree with that. You know, I don't disagree. But I think you have to look at and take into account that this is a former 5-star dual threat quarterback, was the number 6 overall quarterback in his class. Ty's no slouch by any means. Don't let the Jalen Milroe getting the starting job in front of him 2 years in a row be something that kind of drives your reasoning for thinking. Okay. But you gotta look at it, man. Sometimes, just like Mac Jones, you see Mac Jones is on that list. He had to wait his turn, you know, and to set it up for him to be like the perfect complete system quarterback that they needed. And the one thing that I keep trying to reiterate, man, I was on YouTube and seen the video and clicked on, that's not the official. You'll know when it's official when it has the Alabama Athletics banner in the background with everything. But the level of continuity that we're seeing in this quarterback room past Ty Simpson is kind of scary to know that you have 3 options available that can start for your team right now. That means that means that they can go start elsewhere. So we're going to have to do a good job in trying to keep the right message in this quarterback room. I don't think Austin Mack sits for another 2 years, and I know for a fact that Keelan Russell is not sitting for no 2 seasons to take a starting job when he's literally the biggest commodity. I'm talking about biggest sought after quarterback in this class right now. Still, you know, and I think with the future plan, man, if a lot of these young guys just stick with the process, next year the transition to the next generation or the next phase of this DeBoer era won't be as frustrating, or you won't see a drop off, because you got a good group of young guys that kind of waited their turn as true freshmen that were ready, you know, but the veteran presence is doing what veteran presence should do, and that's providing quality depth. So shout out to Popeyes. They made a good half and half today. Waiting ain't always a bad thing, guys. Sometimes it's best. Facts. And I like the fact that Ty didn't get thrown into a situation last year. Offensive line was not consistent, right? And you saw the benefits. You saw the benefits of him being able to work with this second team of personnel. That's why this year, I think the wide receiver production and the tight end production in the passing game is going to be so extensive because of his chemistry with guys like Josh Cuevas, Danny Lewis, Jay Lindsey, right? And then you got guys who just come in and our system fits, like Brody Dalton, you know. Have continue to hear positive things about him, and Marshall Pritchett, the true freshman coming in and just fitting the mold of what this offense demands at the tight end position. But then at the wide receiver position, you got to think Isaiah Horton and Ty Simpson have some history on a personal level, but you know, that chemistry carries over when guys are dedicated to the work. Jeremy Bernard, when he first got to Bama, you remember he wasn't in that first team until Jalen Hale got hurt. When Jalen Hale got hurt, that's when Jeremy Bernard got moved up. So I think there's a lot of opportunities here for this offense to be even more explosive with some of the injuries we see up front, right? Some of the injuries, some of the guys working back with the first team, second team rotation in the wide receiver room, and then the running back room with Jam Miller being down. I think this is something that Richard Young, Danny, and Daniel Hill are used to, having to run with Ty Simpson and being in the backfield with Ty Simpson. They had to do it a lot last year. So I think it lined up perfectly. Like you said, timing is everything. Never want to wish injuries on any players, but you see what systematic development does for your team in moments like this. So I'm in there. What we got? Waiting ain't always a bad thing. People talk like Jalen Milroe wasn't one of the most talented players in the nation last year at any position. Smooth, people tripping. People do be tripping, but we can't deny the fact that he was not the prototypical quarterback you want for this system to thrive. And there, I guarantee you, if we were to ask Ryan Grubb, I guarantee you, if you asked him the difference between last year's offense and this year's offense, it would more so be like his answer would be something to the effect of play calling style. We don't have a Jalen Miro style quarterback in the room, so we will be more leaning towards our running backs to be the rushing assets or the contributors to our overall run game production, and utilize the natural athleticism of our quarterbacks as a phase or an extended phase of our run game. I guarantee you it'll be something to that effect. Maybe not that word, but I guarantee you it'll be something to that effect when he's talking about utilizing the quarterbacks in the run game, how the run game's supposed to look. But when you have a guy like Jalen Miro, just like the comment said, you don't cap or limit his athleticism when it's literally second to none in the country whenever he's, dialed in and being decisive in how he moves. So I like where it's at. So practice today, you got a lot of quality production from your quarterback room, got a lot of quality looks. Now get into game planning week. I think based off of the conversations we had, you saw a few spots where there was maybe a few spots of confusion, and it's the first day of full game planning, so there's going to be wrinkles and things being thrown into the game plan to prepare for Florida State's defense when you're talking about the offense. And Tony White is going to play a lot of aggressive in-your-face, smash mouth man-type coverages, or he's going to pre-snap man read and play a very aggressive 4 or 3 match in any back end play call. And then up front, a lot of lane discipline is required in order to execute this defense effectively. And I think what you're going to see this staff attack, Alabama's offensive staff attack Florida State in, is the intermediate routes. The tight end room is going to be very effective. The running backs out of the backfield is going to be effective, which then entails that third phase and beyond effectiveness for the wide receiver room, especially when you work in the boundaries across the middle, and getting these safeties and corners in no man's land as far as the exchange zone, being able to kind of get mesh routes downfield, not necessarily mesh, but concepts to mesh at certain points between the 8 and the 12 yard mark from the line of scrimmage, being able to get routes to match and cause confusions in those areas, open up big windows for accurate quarterbacks like Ty Simpson, and we could see this offense just humming week in and week out just because of wide receivers being able to get open and release. So those are some of the hot topics of the practice today. The tight end room, man, looking good. Like I said, I'm excited. Josh Cuevas, Jay Lindsey, Danny Lewis, Brody Dalton. I'm telling y'all, Brody Dalton is going to be a name. Y'all keep hearing me say it, but y'all not listening to me. Brody Dalton will be an impact player for this offense, and maybe not in large volume, but I truly believe that anytime he's on the field, you're going to have to pay attention to him. And I'm not saying Brock Bowers type receiving tight end, but he's an athlete and he's hard to bring down. His catch radius is there, but also he's not going to drop many balls. Strong hands. This quarterback room has a lot of confidence coming into the fall because of how quality of the receiver assets we have. What's up, Joseph? Good to see you. Well, what did he say, Megan? Talking about the offensive play calling style. I'm looking at the time. It looks like that's when you commented on it. The offensive play calling style. I'm really excited about how this defense is going to look in the second year. We're going to talk a little bit about the defense to close out the show. We got about 6 minutes. Using the tight ends more last season really stood out. Excited to see what they do. And this is what I'm saying, Megan, diving into today's practice. Guys like Lindsey, had an opportunity during spring to showcase his ability, and now coming into the fall, you see where his assets are. I think today, and this is just conversations, I think today you get to see how the H-back is going to be utilized in this scheme, prepare for Florida State, and more so going beyond. So now you'll see guys like maybe Danny Lewis behind Lindsey, be able to see what it looks like in scheme and in phase. And his receiving assets allows you to have an H-back out there that can check down and really get some quality passing threats on the field. So I look where Marshall Pritchett, Brody Dalton, and Josh Cuevas stand as probably the primary rotation at the Y, the true tight end spot. I can't wait to see what their concepts and their middle of the field reads turn into this season with quarterbacks who understand the levels concept, that understand the flood concepts in its extensive nature, the mesh concepts, which are your two interiors or your outer, your boundary and your interior receivers from opposite sides. Seeing all of these things happen in real time is different than trying to see it in game speed, right? Seeing it develop in real time is where you get to see the value in it. And I think this staff has caught that early in fall camp, or probably earlier than fall camp, probably caught it back in spring, and they've made it a part of their daily routine to go through these phases in practice to kind of force these guys' eyes and spots so they can get used to seeing it. When the game comes, it's just like, it's fluid and it's just like regular work. Ty will have 500 rushing yards a stretch. I think it might be a stretch because even with Michael Penix and the way that the offense was schemed up, I think he only had 500 plus because they ended up in the playoffs. I don't think because of how many running backs are in the system now, if they tried their best to keep Michael Penix from running the ball or keeping him out of situations where he had to tuck it and go, I think with the running back assets available and Ryan Grubb, I believe we'll speak on this too at some point before the season, having this many viable running back assets to where your quarterback should be able to stay healthy throughout the season. Because if things get shaky with this offensive line, one thing I do believe they have full confidence is the interior run game. I think they have a lot of confidence in what they have between the guards and being able to get behind those big bodies, the guards and the center. Parker Bradford is a very smart IQ blocker, but if he's struggling in the run blocking scheme, you got Rock Montgomery, who is a run block specialist, right? You got him at center, your second center. And Geno Vandermark and Cam Dewberry, Jaden Roberts, all these guys that are interior muscles. Michael Carroll, the young guy, showcasing his quality and his assets at being able to play guard and tackle as a true freshman. So I like where we sit at. And I don't think he'll have to. Now, is it possible is he capable? Yes. I think Ty may have to rip off one or two 12-plus yarders a game, every blue moon, and then you might catch him taking one scoop boogie into the house against maybe ULM or something, second week in the season, first home game. Yo, what's good, bro? Good to see you, Spidey. He said what the offense will look like, talked about Jalen's skill set and how. Oh, okay. Is Roberts healthy, Smook? Not 100%. The thing is, he hasn't been 100% healthy since fall camp is kicked off. And apparently there was some concussion protocol set in place. I don't remember seeing that officially anywhere. But apparently that's what I know, that both he and Caden Proctor still playing through, some semi injuries. A lot of players playing through nicks and bruises and things of that nature. So like Coach Grubb said, and I seen this quote about, if they're out there, they're 100%, they're ready to play. So still being able to participate in practices on limited basis, I think he plays, week one. But I did see the quote when I want to say, I can't remember his name. He asked about the offensive line group and throwing the five guys that's currently out there, the starting five without Jaden Roberts, throwing those guys out there. How confident would he be? And very confident was basically the response. And I don't blame him. You got a lot of veteran guys across that front. Geno Vandermark, Cam Dewberry, both veterans. Parker Brailsford at center coming out. You got a right tackle, Wilkin Formby, finally seeming to turn over a new leaf, and then left tackle, Caden Proctor. If we can get him to step up every game and play every game like it's a big game, then he's a first tackle off the board type of talent. So a lot of fun things to look forward to with this Alabama offense. We're going to talk Alabama defense tomorrow after practice. A lot of cool things being available for everybody with player availability. We're going to actually what in the world? I don't know who that is. We're going to actually have some footage for you all. So as soon as our footage is able to be uploaded from here, we'll upload the interview from Coach Grubb. I'm going to go grab my other computer. I got some edits that I want to put out. There's some old stuff, but hopefully we can pull it and go ahead and start getting it posted. I think you all need to see this because it was some stuff that I was saying last season, and I was going back listening to it, and I got to remember how to pull this in the right format so that I could post it.
Well, it was some things that I was saying last year during the show as far as the development of this team, and you would have thought that I had some type of custom blueprint to Kalen DeBoer, Courtney Morgan, and this staff's the way that they're operating in Alabama. So once I start finding those clips, I'll make sure I put the date, like a year ago or whatever the date was, and let everybody know, because we really be on to some stuff over here. So if you all enjoyed that post-practice report, if you're tapping into this post live, type questions in the chat, ask questions, let me know what you want to know in the chat, and I respond in the comments. And then that way, if you don't see it in the comments, you can come back to the next live and we can go over the chat questions in the comments. But let's go to Twitter real quick. I got to answer this from my guy Kyle. Kyle, I hope you're in the chat still, man. I told you I'd get to it at the end of the show, man. We want to make sure we give you the last. I want to be able to clip this. So Instagram, appreciate y'all for tapping in over there. TikTok, appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. Uh-oh, what we got going? Uh-oh. Instagram, appreciate y'all. TikTok, appreciate y'all. D-Hodge. Oh, yeah, that'd be fire. Let them know. Facts. Rich said, what's up, man? Hey, Rich, you keep talking about Go Dogs, man. You keep missing the call-in segment, brother. I be trying to hold the phone line for you. I guess you be tapping out. You can't be patient. Your bark ain't strong enough. You ain't got your bark back. All right, y'all. Let me find this. Let me find this question. From my guy. Kyle asked a solid question and I retweeted it. Got 34 in the chat on Twitter. And so this is how we're going to end it. He said, which position group, and this is what Kyle wrote on Twitter. I'm going to share this with y'all. My guy says, which position group are you most confident in? And which group are you least confident in? So let's start off with least confident. I think the position group that I'm least confident in right now, if I had to pick one, I would probably say least confident in right now. Excuse me. Dang. I probably have to go, like if I had to choose, I probably have to go with inside linebackers. I don't know. I think Alabama, because of the amount of experience and the amount of snaps returning on both sides of the ball, it's hard to not be confident in what you have on paper. So just for the sake of the question, I'm going to say the inside linebackers. You got Deontay Lawson working back from an injury. You got Nakai Hill-Green. Let's just be devil's advocate here. You got Nakai Hill-Green coming in from another system. He's projected to be a starter or a heavy impact rotational player. Justin Jefferson, limited in his reps last year, didn't come on till late. Not sure what he's going to do as a starter. So yeah, inside linebacker, all the young talent, unproven talent behind him. Inside linebacker. What position group am I most confident in? I stay on the defensive side. I am the most confident in this defensive line. And when I say the defensive line, I'm talking about Bandit, defensive tackle, nose tackle, and Wolf. Even though the Wolf isn't a defensive lineman, it plays a true defensive end technique / outside linebacker technique. That front four on this 4-2-5 scheme, that's the group that I'm excited about. From top to bottom. From the starters in LT Overton / Keon Keeley, James Smith, Tim Keenan, Quay Russaw, and then your next group of rotation, you got, Keon Keeley, LT Overton, whichever, and then you got, Jeremiah Beeman, and then Steven Boomer, and then Yanzi Pierre. Then your next group, you got Kelby Collins, and then you got Edric Hill, then you got you got Jordan Renard, on your interior. Then you got Edric Hill, and you got Justin Hill or Ja Latham, whichever you want to put in the third rotation. Then fourth group, you got Fatua Henry. Then you can start mixing and matching on the interior. Do you want to bring Jeremiah Bateman back in? Do you want James Smith? Do you want Jordan Renard? Do you want Asaya Faga? You know, then London Simmons right there starting to pop with his opportunities. Not many opportunities, but can be a fourth guy in the rotation. And then you got Noah Carter off the edge with Ja Latham, and just the whole front. The D line, the D line in it as a whole from top to bottom is championship caliber. So those are the two I'm most confident in. A lot of experience in the inside linebacker room. A lot of experience, Davin, but not in this system. Deontay Lawson coming back from an injury. Justin Jefferson didn't play a lot of snaps last year compared to Jahad Campbell and Lawson. He played a lot of spell, and I think that's going to change this year in utilizing that inside linebacker rotation. The Kyle Green, a lot of experience at Colorado, not in the SEC. Who else? You got Abdul Sanders Jr. and QB Reese right there. Caden Jones, not very much experience. Like a lot of those guys, talent, but not a lot of experience. Chill out, Danny. Breaking news: Auburn has claimed what? Anyways, what's up, Daniel? Welcome in. Even for you sad Auburn fans. I like that we're getting close to college football, but I don't like the delusional college football fans out right now. I think I expect. See, this is what I expect. We're going to get up out of here. I usually like the closer you get to kickoff, the more logical you should be. Right? It's okay to talk crazy in the offseason and speculate and give hot takes, but the closer you get to kickoff, you should be really like saying realistic stuff that you can be held accountable for. I don't think Auburn fans are doing that. I really don't. Alex Jimenez, appreciate the follow. Hey, the like on Facebook. That's my guy, man. Tapping in. UHP family tapping in. Matthew Speed. Hey, that's my boy Spidey. Then Joe tapping in with the like. We got 38 on YouTube, man. 39 on Twitter. We got mad love on both platforms for a random post-practice report. We weren't supposed to be going live, but we ended up doing it anyways. That's how we do. D Hodge, most confident in inside linebacker. That's where your my least confident group. You know what? Now that I think about it, I see an answer over here. The kicking game is probably where I'm least confident at. Now that I got somewhere else to place my attention, the kicking game. That's why I put my least confident, Kyle. I seen that answer, D Hodge. I'm gonna steal your answer out of the TikTok chat. I'm least confident in our kicking game. Because I'm confident in everything on the field, like that we fielded, even at the offensive line, mixing and matching, running back injury. Deontay Lawson, like I said, that Nikhil Green pickup was huge. Justin Jefferson, Abdul Sanders, QB Reese, all displaying that they can be ready. Caden Jones starting to look at 100%. Does he finally get back into the rotation? We know he has a lot of speed for that inside linebacker position. Him and Justin O and their lateral speed is what stood out last year. Justin O hit the portal. Caden decided to stick around. Still developing in that frame, showcasing that he has that hustle ability. Every scrimmage he's had, he's been on 6-7 tackles. So I think Caden Jones can still make a case for himself with so many young guys surrounding that first rotation of 3 in the inside linebacker room. And how much of Deontay Lawson are we going to see, because he's been limited in all live action, even in the scrimmages, limited. So you see him running around out there doing, I don't think he's 100%, and you can't have missed beats because guys are, overthinking a step or missing a step. So we'll see how the inside linebacker room rotates. But if I had to pick someone outside of kickers and punters, I think it would be my inside linebacker room. That's where I would think. What about Dre Washington in the rotation? I think he's number 3 right now. You want to see him get better in pass protection. That's my evaluation off of, without even knowing what the coaches are saying, just looking at it from this past last week's scrimmage, reports from the first scrimmage, probably not something that he had a strength in coming into Bama, but I think he's getting better. The scheme kind of helps running backs get better in pass pro. So I think he's sitting right there behind Daniel Hill in the rotation. Daniel Hill is probably the best pass blocker of them all. Richard Young with all the experience, he's very consistent. And then AK Deer still learning as a true freshman, but his willingness to put his hat in there, when he knows what he's doing in pass pro, you're going to see it. If he has questions, if he's confused, you're going to see it. And that's what you expect from a true freshman, that the willingness to just be physical, keep trying your best to help keep the quarterback clean. Dre Washington is getting better. He's getting better. So I think he's third right now in that rotation. What's another question? What about Dre Washington in rotation? Yeah, appreciate that. So Richard, the starter as of now, that's my guess. That's my guess. That's what I'm gonna go with. Based off of what I've seen today, especially in teams. He was the first running back up to take snaps with Ty Simpson. He also took snaps with Keelan Russell, and I do believe that was number 9. It might have been number 4 with Austin Mack, but I do believe it was number 9 out there at some point. And like I said, besides Jam Miller, I think you still had a rotational thing going to where it was basically pick and pull, behind Jam. So who gets to take that position as far as being the every down back, and then your pick and pull guys? You're probably not going to have 4 now. You're probably going to have 3. So it's going to be all decided when it comes to that. Y'all have 18. Calm down. What you mean? 18 what? 18 natties? Imagine claim an extra 4 titles and still not being close to Bama. Oh, wow. Do we got an Auburn fan trying to get mad? What's an Auburn fan got to say to us? We were just trying to get relevant again? Okay. With kicking game, but Bama was at its most dominant when we had to cross our finger. Hey, listen. When we had Andy Papanos, we don't want that junk again. I'm not trying to deal with that. I got enough confidence in Connor Tauti and Alex Asperov as he works back. And then the other young man, I forget his name. I think it was James. I forget the other punter's name. Y'all got to help me put some respect on the specialist names. As a matter of fact, if any of the specialists from Alabama see this, I want y'all to roast me. You get 48 hours, 72 hours to roast me from this moment, because I don't know each and every one of y'all's names, and I'm usually big on having that. Them and the walk-ons, we usually big on showing our underdogs love, man. Our not so they don't get a lot of the attention. I forget what you call that, but yeah, the unsung heroes. I mean, he told the rock like he reminds me of Kenyon Drake. I don't know, man. Richard Young, you talking about Richard Young? Nah, he don't remind me of Kenyon Drake. He reminds me of Richard Young remind me more of Damian Harris. Yeah, Richard Young remind me of Damian Harris. Richard Young reminds me of Damian Harris. His running style is just like Damian Harris to me. Damian Harris. And even before that, if you look at how Roy Upchurch ran the ball and how he was out of the backfield, I think that's what we see from Richard Young. That's what we see from Richard Young. I'm really not trying to flip a coin to see if we facts, Dylan. That's some stressful living right there. But family, with this last minute, I just want to thank y'all for being here today. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the post-practice report. And once again, if you have questions for the post-practice report, anything post-practice, make sure y'all following your boy on Twitter. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. That's where you can jump in the comments and ask questions, and they can be featured live on the show. I always post my Alabama post-practice notes here on Twitter. If you go under those notes and post your questions like Kyle did, I'll answer it live on the show. Clearly, we have people checking it out, 1.3K views. So just take a moment, retweet it, share it, like it, and then ask your questions, and I'll answer it on the show. We could actually do a whole show of answering questions on Twitter. I used to love watching Lacey carry the rock. Lacey was different too, man. Big body that'll kind of scare you. Glenn Coffey, I don't think he ran as hard downhill as Glenn Coffey did. And I think he has more balance off of contact than Glenn Coffey did. Now, if you say somebody like I even give Richard Young like Sean Alexander style running. Now that you want to go for that far back, like, and I'm talking about senior year Alexander, not the sophomore year, junior year. I'm talking about senior year. I think we can get that type of running to, yeah. Yeah. So with that being said, appreciate y'all for tapping in and supporting the Coach Smook Network. Again, here with your Smook Scoop and the Alabama Post Practice Report. Look, y'all continue to support your boy. And remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me and say, put me in the game, Coach Smook. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Y'all be blessed. I'll see y'all later. I'm on TikTok. I'm about to get on here and do some gaming. We got to start getting right for the season, y'all. So y'all don't dip out on me and leave me hanging by myself. Y'all come and help me get ready for the season, man. Headset talk got to be on point this year. We're not taking no L's. We're going to make it look like Alabama's supposed to look like this year. Consistency. Thank you to everybody for your support, all the sponsors, everybody featured here, every community member, every AAA member. Thank you so much. SOS, roll, Tide, roll. Catch y'all on the next one.
Better go subscribe. You do roll with the tide. I'm down in the gun with Coach Smook. Through the game, roll tide, roll tide. Better go subscribe.